Captain Lisa Morgan stood at the window of her research station and watched two alien ships arrive. The sleek elven vessel looked like it was made of silver and crystal. The reptilian ship was dark green with thick armor plates. Both ships were much bigger than her human station. Lisa had never been this nervous before. She was hosting the first three-way peace meeting in 50 years. The elves and reptilians had been fighting over star systems for decades. Now they wanted to talk, and somehow they picked her small research station as the meeting place. "Captain, they're asking permission to dock," said Amy Rodriguez from her science station. Amy was the best xenobiologist in the fleet, but she looked as worried as Lisa felt. "Tell them both they can dock. Bay 3 for the elves, Bay 5 for the reptilians. Make sure they don't see each other until the meeting." Lisa walked to the meeting room one more time. Everything had to be perfect. The table was round so no one would sit at the head. 3 chairs were spaced equally apart. She had ordered special food for each species and drinks that were safe for everyone. The elven delegate arrived first. Elwyn Starweaver was tall and thin with long silver hair and pointed ears. She moved like she was dancing even when she was just walking. Her aide Lirelai followed behind her, carrying a small bag of elven gifts. "Captain Morgan," Elwyn said, with a slight bow. Her voice sounded like music. "Thank you for hosting this meeting. The Silver Moon Confederation hopes for a peaceful solution." "Welcome aboard," Lisa replied. She tried to copy the elven bow, but felt clumsy doing it. 10 minutes later, the reptilian delegate entered. Zara Kethva was shorter than the elf, but much wider. Her green scales caught the light, and her yellow eyes studied everything carefully. She wore simple clothes but expensive jewelry. "Human captain," Zara said in a hissing voice. "The Saurian Empire appreciates your neutral station for these talks." Lisa introduced everyone and they sat down. The tension in the room was thick. The elf and reptilian had not spoken to each other yet. They kept looking at opposite walls. "Before we begin," Lisa said, "we have prepared a meal to show respect for both your cultures." Amy brought in the food. There were crystal fruits for the elves and raw meat strips for the reptilians. For drinks, Amy had prepared 3 different beverages. Each one was supposed to be safe for all 3 species. The problem was that Amy was nervous too. In the kitchen, she had mixed up the containers. Instead of the safe ceremonial drinks, she grabbed the wrong bottles. She poured human military energy supplements into the alien cups. The supplements were bright blue and smelled like berries. They were made for human soldiers who needed to stay awake for 3 days straight. Each bottle contained enough caffeine to keep a human alert for 24 hours, plus synthetic adrenaline and other chemicals that made reflexes faster. "This drink represents friendship between our peoples," Lisa said, raising her cup. All 3 delegates drank at the same time. Lisa sipped her safe ceremonial drink. Elwyn and Zara each drank the entire cup of military supplements. For the first few minutes, nothing happened. They talked about the weather and their journey to the station. Elwyn spoke about elven poetry. Zara discussed reptilian mining techniques. Then Elwyn blinked rapidly. Her pupils got bigger. "This drink is very interesting," she said. Her musical voice was faster now. Zara's tail started twitching. She kept moving her head from side to side like she was looking for something. "Yes, very energizing." Lisa didn't notice anything wrong yet. She started talking about the territorial disputes they needed to solve. Both delegates seemed to be paying very close attention. "The Vega system has 3 planets," Lisa began. "Both your peoples claim mining rights to the asteroid belt." Elwyn suddenly stood up very fast. Too fast. Her chair fell backward. "Yes, the asteroids. We could map them all, every single one. How many are there exactly? We should count them." Zara jumped up too. Her yellow eyes were now very wide. "Counting is good, but mining efficiency is better. We could process all asteroids in half the time with proper organization." Lisa stared at both of them. Something was definitely wrong. Elves were supposed to be calm and slow to speak. Reptilians were supposed to be even calmer. But both delegates were acting like they had drunk 10 cups of coffee. "Perhaps we should take a short break," Lisa suggested. "Break? No time for breaks," Elwyn said. She started pacing around the room very quickly. Her movements were still graceful, but much faster than any elf should move. "We have so much to discuss. Territory, trade, cultural exchange, scientific cooperation." Zara was tapping her claws on the table very rapidly. The sound was like a machine gun. "Break is inefficient. We should solve all problems now. Today. This hour." Amy looked at Lisa with panic in her eyes. Lisa knew that look. Amy had made a mistake. "Amy, what did you give them to drink?" Lisa asked quietly. Amy's face turned red. I think I grabbed the wrong bottles. Those might have been the military supplements from Storage Bay 12. Lisa's heart sank. Military supplements were designed for human biology. No one knew what they would do to aliens, and she had just given full doses to the two most important diplomats in the galaxy. Elwyn was now examining the wall decorations with incredible speed. She looked at each picture for exactly 2 seconds, then moved to the next one. Fascinating human art. The brushwork shows influences from 12 different planetary cultures. I can see the connection patterns. Zara had started reorganizing the fruit on the table. Her hands moved so fast they were blurry. "This arrangement is inefficient. Color coordination should follow size patterns for optimal visual processing." Lisa realized this diplomatic meeting was about to become either a disaster or something completely unexpected. She just hoped the aliens wouldn't declare war when the supplements wore off. Lisa watched in amazement as Aelwyn moved around the room like lightning. The elf was touching every surface, examining every detail, and talking non-stop. Her normal musical voice had become a rapid stream of words. The metal composition of, "Your walls is fascinating. I can feel the molecular structure through my fingertips. And the air circulation system is remarkably efficient for such a small station." Aelwyn said all of this in about 5 seconds. Zara was just as active, but in a different way. She had completely rearranged the meeting table, organizing everything by color, size, and what she called optimization patterns. Her cold reptilian blood was now pumping so fast that Lisa could see her pulse in her neck. "Captain Morgan," Zara said, speaking much faster than before, "your human engineering is more advanced than we realized. This table can be reconfigured in 47 different ways for maximum efficiency. Would you like me to demonstrate all of them?" "That's really not necessary," Lisa began, but Zara was already moving the table. Amy stood in the corner, looking terrified. "Captain, should I call medical?" she whispered. Before Lisa could answer, something amazing happened. Aelwyn picked up a datapad that contained information about the territorial dispute. She read the entire document in 30 seconds. "I understand the problem now," Aelwyn announced. "The issue isn't just about mining rights. It's about orbital mechanics, gravitational influences, asteroid drift patterns, and seasonal radiation. Changes. I can calculate the optimal solution." She grabbed a pen and started drawing diagrams on the wall. Her hand moved so fast that Lisa could barely see it. But the drawings were perfect. Mathematical equations, star charts, and orbital patterns appeared on the wall like magic. Zara stopped reorganizing the table and stared at the drawings. "Those calculations are correct," she said with surprise. "But how did she complete them so quickly? It should take our best computers 6 hours to process that data." "I don't know," Aelwyn said, still drawing. "My mind feels so clear. I can see connections between everything. The asteroid belt rotates every 47 days. The mining ships would work best if they followed the rotation instead of fighting it." Lisa couldn't believe what she was hearing. This was the same territorial problem that had caused wars for 50 years. Dozens of committees had tried to solve it, and this hyperactive elf was drawing the solution on her wall. "Wait," Zara said. She moved to the wall and started adding her own calculations. Her claws scratched mathematical symbols next to Aelwyn's drawings. "If we combine elven orbital knowledge with saurian mining efficiency, we could increase output by 300%. Both aliens were now working together on the wall. They had completely forgotten about their centuries of hatred. The military supplements had not just made them hyperactive, they had also made them incredibly smart and focused. "This is impossible," Amy whispered to Lisa. "Those supplements should have made them sick, not turned them into super geniuses." Lisa was thinking the same thing. Human military supplements were designed to keep soldiers alert during long battles. They were not supposed to enhance intelligence or create cooperation between enemies. Commander Kate Sullivan entered the room at that moment. She was Lisa's military advisor and had come to check on the meeting. She stopped in the doorway and stared. Captain, why are the alien delegates redecorating your meeting room? Kate asked. It's a long story, Lisa said. Amy accidentally gave them human military supplements. Kate's face went pale. How much? Full doses. Oh no, Captain, those supplements are classified military technology. If word gets out that we can enhance alien capabilities like this... Kate didn't finish the sentence, but Lisa understood. Every alien government in the galaxy would want to know how humans had created such powerful enhancement drugs. On the wall, Elwyn and Zara had finished their calculations. They turned around with huge smiles on their faces. We solved it, Elwyn announced. The territorial dispute is over. We can share the asteroid belt using rotating schedules based on orbital mechanics. But that's not all, Zara added. We also figured out how to increase mining efficiency, reduce environmental damage, and create a fair profit-sharing agreement. Lisa looked at their wall drawings. The solution was brilliant. It was so obvious that she wondered why no one had thought of it before. But she knew the real reason. It had taken superhuman intelligence and speed to see all the connections at once. This is amazing work, Lisa said carefully. But how do you both feel? Any side effects from the drinks? Side effects? Elwyn laughed. I feel wonderful. My mind has never been this clear. I can see patterns in everything. Same here, Zara agreed. My thoughts are organized and efficient. Is this how humans always think? Lisa and Kate exchanged worried looks. The aliens thought this was normal human brain function. They didn't realize they had been accidentally drugged with military enhancement chemicals. Not exactly, Lisa said slowly. Those drinks were special. Special how? Zara asked. Her reptilian eyes were very bright and focused. Before Lisa could answer, Elwyn gasped. Wait! I'm analyzing the chemical composition through taste memory. This wasn't ceremonial drink. This was some kind of enhancement compound. Zara's tail stopped twitching. Enhancement compound? You mean humans have created substances that improve mental and physical performance? It would seem so, Elwyn said. She was still speaking rapidly, but her voice was more thoughtful now. The question is, why do humans need such powerful enhancements? What kind of challenges do you face that require this level of cognitive acceleration? Lisa realized she was in serious trouble. The aliens had figured out that they had been given human military drugs. Now they wanted to know why humans needed such things. Well, Lisa began slowly, human lifespans are much shorter than yours. We have to learn and accomplish things very quickly. But this level of enhancement suggests preparation for extreme situations, Zara said. Combat situations. Kate stepped forward. Captain, I think we need to have a longer conversation about human military capabilities. Elwyn and Zara looked at each other. For the first time since drinking the supplements, they seemed to agree on something without discussing it first. Yes, Elwyn said. We would very much like to learn more about human enhancements. And human military doctrine, Zara added. If this is what you give your soldiers to drink, what else are you capable of? Lisa knew this meeting was about to become much more complicated than anyone had planned. Within an hour, news of the incident had spread to both alien fleets. Admiral Beth Carter appeared on the main screen as a hologram, looking very unhappy. Her short gray hair was perfectly neat, but her expression was anything but calm. Captain. Morgan, please explain to me how you managed to drug two of the most important diplomats in the galaxy with classified military supplements, Admiral Carter said. Lisa stood at attention. It was an accident, Admiral. Dr. Rodriguez mixed up the containers in the kitchen. Accident or not, both alien fleets are demanding answers. The Elven Council wants to know what other human enhancements we're hiding. The Saurian military thinks we've been lying about our capabilities for decades. On the other side of the room, Elwyn was still moving with incredible speed. She had read every book in the station's library and was now reorganizing them by author, date, and subject matter, all at the same time. Captain, Elwyn called out, I've been studying your human history files. You've fought wars on over 200 planets in the last century. That's remarkable for such a young species. Zara looked up from where she was calculating fuel efficiency improvements for the station's engines. 200 planets? Our records show humans as a minor species with limited military experience. Lisa felt sweat on her forehead. The aliens were discovering things that humans preferred to keep quiet. Yes, humanity had fought many wars, but most other species didn't know the full extent of human military activity. Humans are very active, Kate said carefully. Active? Aylwin laughed, but not in a mean way. According to these files, human soldiers can fight for 3 days without sleep using these supplements. Your average war lasts 6 months instead of the 20-year conflicts we're used to. You fight fast, hard, and then it's over. Zara nodded as she continued her calculations. I'm analyzing your engineering data. Human ships are built for speed and quick repairs, not long-term durability like ours. Everything is designed for rapid deployment and immediate action. A new voice came from the communication system. This is Thane Kira Veltar, of the Saurian Military Command. We need to speak with your diplomats immediately. The screen split to show the Saurian military leader. She was larger than Zara, with darker scales and more scars. Her yellow eyes looked angry. Zara, report on the human capabilities you've discovered, Thane Kira ordered. Zara straightened up, but she was still moving faster than any reptilian should. Thane, the humans have created enhancement compounds that increase mental processing speed by approximately 400%. Physical reflexes are improved by at least 200%. Duration appears to be several hours. That's impossible. No species has developed cognitive enhancements that powerful. I'm experiencing it right now, Thane. My thinking speed is incredible. I've solved 7 engineering problems in the last hour that normally take our best scientists weeks to complete. Elder Sylvanus Dawnstrider appeared on another part of the screen. He was an old elf with white hair and kind eyes, but he looked concerned. Aylwin, child, are you well? Your reports to the council have been unusual. I'm better than well, Elder. I can see connections between everything. Human society makes so much more sense now. They live fast lives, so they developed technology. To think fast, too. It's brilliant adaptation. Lisa watched all this communication happening and realized how bad the situation was becoming. Both alien governments were learning about human military capabilities in real time. Admiral, Lisa said, quietly to Admiral Carter. What do you want me to tell them? The truth, Captain. It's too late for anything else. Lisa took a deep breath. The substances your delegates consumed are standard military supplements for human soldiers. We use them during extended combat operations or emergency situations. Standard? Thane Kira hissed. You give this to all your soldiers? Yes. Human biology requires chemical assistance to maintain peak performance during stress. Elder Sylvanus looked thoughtful. This explains much about human behavior. Your rapid expansion, your quick resolution of conflicts, your ability to adapt to new situations faster than other species. Elwyn stopped organizing books and turned to face the screen. Elder, I think we've been wrong about humans. We thought they were impulsive and short-sighted. But they're actually incredibly efficient. They compress what takes us decades into years or months. Zara was nodding rapidly. The Saurian Empire has made the same mistake. We thought human technology was primitive because it's different from ours, but it's actually optimized for rapid deployment and quick solutions. How many other human capabilities have we underestimated? Thane Kira asked. Kate stepped forward. With respect, that's classified information. Everything is classified with humans, Elder Sylvanus said. But he didn't sound angry. You keep your true capabilities hidden while pretending to be a minor species. We're not pretending, Lisa said. We really are a minor species. We just work harder and faster than everyone else because we have shorter lives. Shorter lives that you extend with advanced medical technology, Aylwin pointed out. Shorter lives that you enhance with cognitive accelerators. Shorter lives that you maximize with incredible efficiency. Dr. Michelle Park entered the room at that moment. She was the station's biochemist and had been analyzing the supplements that Amy had given to the aliens. Captain, I finished testing the remaining supplements. The molecular structure is more complex than I realized. There are compounds in here that we don't fully understand ourselves. What do you mean? Admiral Carter asked from the screen. Some of these chemicals were developed by military scientists who died in the war with the Centauri rebels. We know they work, but we've lost the complete research data. We're essentially using technology that we can't fully explain. Zara and Aelwyn looked at each other with amazement. "You're using enhancement technology that even you don't completely understand?" Zara asked. "Human desperation breeds incredible innovation," Aelwyn said with admiration. "You develop solutions first and figure out the science later." Thane Kira made a sound that might have been laughter. "I'm beginning to understand why the Centauri rebels lost their war against humanity." Elder Sylvanus nodded slowly. "The question now is not what humans are capable of, but what we can learn from working with them." Lisa felt a shift in the conversation. The aliens had gone from being suspicious to being impressed. The accidental drugging had revealed human capabilities, but it had also shown human innovation and adaptability. "Perhaps," Lisa said carefully, "we could discuss new forms of cooperation between our species." "Yes," Aelwyn said, her enhanced mind clearly working on multiple levels. "Imagine what we could accomplish together. Elven patience and wisdom, Saurian stability and persistence, human speed and innovation." Zara was already drawing new diagrams on the wall. "A three-way alliance could solve problems that none of us could handle alone." Admiral Carter looked surprised. "Captain, I think your diplomatic disaster might be turning into something completely different." Lisa looked around the room at the hyperactive aliens, the confused military officers, and the complex diagrams covering her walls. The diplomatic meeting had definitely not gone as planned, but it might have gone better than anyone had hoped. The next day, the situation had grown much bigger than anyone expected. Both alien governments had sent their top military leaders and scientists to the station. General Seth Crodon arrived with a full Saurian research team. Elder Sylvanus came personally with the Elven Council's best biochemists. Lisa's small research station was now crowded with aliens who all wanted to understand human enhancement technology. The original territorial dispute had been completely forgotten. Dr. Michelle Park was in her element, explaining human biochemistry to fascinated alien scientists. She had set up her lab as a classroom with samples of various human supplements displayed on tables. "The basic principle is simple," Michelle explained to a room full of aliens. "Human bodies are designed for short bursts of intense activity. We needed chemicals that could extend these bursts for military operations." A young Saurian scientist raised her hand. "But how did you develop such complex compounds so quickly? Our research takes centuries." "Desperation," Michelle said simply. "When humans are threatened, we innovate very fast. We had wars to fight and not much time to solve the problems." Elder Sylvanus studied a sample of the military supplements through a magnifying device. "These compounds would be toxic to Elven biology in normal circumstances, but mixed with the right buffer agents, they become enhancers instead of poisons." "That's the remarkable part," said Dr. Amy Rodriguez, who had been forgiven for her earlier mistake. "Human military scientists developed these supplements by testing them on volunteers during active combat situations. They learned what worked by using soldiers as test subjects." General Seth Crodon made a hissing sound of disbelief. "You tested experimental drugs on your own soldiers during battles?" "Yes," Kate Sullivan answered. "Human military doctrine prioritizes immediate effectiveness over long-term safety testing." "That's insane," said a Saurian biochemist. "That's human," Aelwyn corrected. She was still under the influence of the supplements, though the effects were starting to weaken. "They compress evolution into single generations through sheer determination." Meanwhile, in another part of the station, military strategists from all three species were having a very different conversation. Admiral Carter had arrived in person, along with representatives from both alien fleets. "Let me make sure I understand this correctly," said Fleet Commander Nalthaw from the Elven Navy. "Human soldiers routinely use enhancement drugs that would kill our people if not properly prepared." "Correct," Admiral Carter confirmed. "And these drugs allow human soldiers to fight for days without rest while maintaining peak mental performance." "Also correct." General Seth Crodon leaned forward across the conference table. "How many humans can you enhance simultaneously?" Admiral Carter smiled slightly. "That's classified, but I will say that our production capabilities are substantial." The aliens exchanged worried looks. They were starting to understand that humanity was much more dangerous than they had realized. Fleet Commander Naltha spoke carefully. Admiral, are we to understand that every human military engagement for the past century has involved enhanced soldiers? Most of them, yes. And your rapid territorial expansion, your quick victory against the Centauri rebels, your ability to resolve conflicts in months instead of years, all of this was accomplished using enhanced human forces, enhanced humans, advanced logistics, and what we call aggressive problem-solving, Admiral Carter confirmed. General Seth Crodan sat back in his chair. We've been evaluating human military strength based on normal biological capabilities. We never considered that you were chemically enhancing your entire army. Why would you? Most species don't have the biochemical knowledge to enhance their soldiers safely, or the willingness to risk their soldiers' lives on experimental drugs, Fleet Commander Naltha added. True, Admiral Carter agreed, but that's what makes humans effective in crisis situations. We take risks that other species won't take. Back in the science lab, the research was revealing even more surprising information. Zara and Elwyn, working together while still enhanced, had figured out how to modify the human supplements for their own species. Look at this, Zara said excitedly, showing her calculations to the gathered scientists. If we adjust the molecular structure by just 3%, the supplements become safe for saurian biology. And if we add buffer compounds from elven medical plants, they become safe for elves too, Elwyn added. Dr. Michelle Park studied their work with amazement. You've solved problems in hours that would take our research teams months to figure out. Enhanced thinking, Elwyn explained. We can see connections that normal minds miss. Elder Sylvanus looked thoughtful. If these enhancements can be adapted for our species, it could change everything. Elven scholars could complete research projects in years instead of decades. Saurian engineers could solve complex problems in real time instead of waiting for computational analysis, added General Seth Crodan, who had joined the science discussion. But Dr. Michelle Park looked worried. There's something you need to understand. These enhancements come with costs. Human soldiers who use them regularly have shorter lifespans. The stress on the body is significant. How much shorter? Elder Sylvanus asked. Enhanced soldiers typically live about 70 years instead of the normal 80, and they often suffer from accelerated aging and stress-related health problems. The room became quiet. The aliens were realizing that human enhancement came with serious sacrifices. So humans trade years of life for immediate capability, Zara said slowly. The supplements were starting to wear off, and she was thinking more carefully now. Yes, Michelle confirmed. We live fast and die young, but we accomplish incredible things in the time we have. Admiral Carter entered the lab at that moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to discuss the bigger picture here. Everyone turned to face her. Word of this incident is spreading through diplomatic channels. Every major species in the galaxy is asking questions about human enhancement capabilities. Some are interested in cooperation, others are concerned about the military implications. What do you mean? Elder Sylvanus asked. I mean that this accidental revelation has changed how everyone sees humanity. We're no longer viewed as a minor species with limited capabilities. We're now seen as a potential threat or a valuable ally, depending on which side you're on. Fleet Commander Naltha nodded. The Confederation Council is already discussing new alliance proposals with humanity. The Saurian Empire is doing the same, General Seth Crodan added. But there are also species that view enhanced humans as dangerous. Lisa realized that her simple diplomatic meeting had accidentally changed the balance of power in the galaxy. The revelation of human enhancement technology had made humanity a major player in galactic politics overnight. So what happens now? Lisa asked. Admiral Carter looked around at all the aliens and humans working together in the lab. Now we figure out how to use this situation to build something better than what we had before. Elwyn, whose enhancement was almost completely worn off now, spoke in her normal musical voice. Perhaps this accident was actually the best thing that could have happened to all of us. 3 days later, the effects of the military supplements had completely worn off. Elwyn moved with her normal, graceful slowness, and Zara had returned to her usual calm, methodical thinking. But the changes they had made while enhanced remained, on the walls and in the research data. Lisa stood in the main conference room, looking at the complex diagrams and equations that covered every surface. The solution to the territorial dispute was still there, written in a mixture of Elven script, Saurian symbols, and human mathematics. "It's strange," Elwyn said, entering the room with her normal quiet footsteps. "I remember everything we figured out, but I can barely understand how we did it so quickly." Zara joined them, moving at her usual steady pace. "My enhanced calculations were correct, but it feels like someone else made them. The speed of thought was incredible." "Do you regret the experience?" Lisa asked. Both aliens considered the question carefully. "No," Elwyn said finally. "It showed me what my mind could accomplish under the right conditions. Elves spend centuries contemplating single problems, but with human enhancement, I solved complex issues in hours." "I agree," Zara said. "Saurian culture values patience and thorough analysis. But there's something to be said for human style. Rapid problem-solving." Admiral Carter entered with representatives from both alien governments. Elder Sylvanus looked the same as always, but he carried a thick folder of documents. General Seth Crodan moved with purpose, his military bearing, more pronounced than before. "Captain Morgan," Admiral Carter began, "we've reached some important decisions about how to move forward." Elder Sylvanus opened his folder. "The Elven Confederation has voted to propose a formal alliance with humanity. We want to establish joint research programs to study enhancement technology safely. The Saurian Empire has reached a similar conclusion," General Seth Crodan added. "But we're also interested in military cooperation. Human rapid response capabilities could complement our defensive strategies." Lisa felt overwhelmed. "A three-way alliance? That's never been attempted before?" "Which is exactly why it might work," Elwyn said with a smile. "Traditional two-party alliances often become competitive. But with three species, we could create balanced cooperation." Dr. Michelle Park entered carrying test results. "I have some news about the enhancement research. Working with the alien biochemists, we've developed safer versions of the supplements." "Safer how?" Admiral Carter asked. "Reduced side effects, longer duration, and better compatibility with alien biology. The enhanced aliens helped us understand things about our own technology that we had missed." Zara nodded slowly. "When I was enhanced, I could see flaws in the human supplement design. Small adjustments that would improve efficiency and reduce health risks. And I found ways to combine human enhancement with elven meditation techniques," Elwyn added. "The mental clarity could be maintained longer with the right preparation." Elder Sylvanus looked pleased. "So the three species working together can improve on what any one species developed alone." "Exactly," Dr. Michelle confirmed. "Human innovation, elven wisdom, and Saurian patience create better solutions than any of us could achieve separately." General Seth Crodan pulled out his own documents. "We've also been analyzing the military implications. A three-way alliance could provide security for all our territories while reducing the need for individual military buildup." "How so?" Lisa asked. "Human rapid response, elven intelligence networks, and Saurian defensive positions," Admiral Carter explained. "Each species provides their strongest capabilities to protect all three." Commander Kate Sullivan had been quietly listening to everything. Now she spoke up. "There's something else to consider. The other galactic powers are watching this alliance form. Some are interested in joining. Others are concerned about our combined capabilities." "Which species are interested?" Elder Sylvanus asked. "The Aquatic Federation has sent preliminary inquiries. The crystal entities want to establish trade relationships. Even some of the machine civilizations are asking questions." Elwyn laughed, the sound like silver bells. "One accidental drugging incident, and suddenly everyone wants to be friends with humans." "It's not just friendship," Zara pointed out. "It's respect. The galaxy has realized that humans are more capable than anyone suspected." Lisa walked to the window and looked out, at the three fleets that now surrounded her station. Human ships were small and fast. Elven vessels were elegant and advanced. Saurian craft were massive and powerful. Together, they represented something new in galactic politics. "So what's our first joint project?" Lisa asked. Dr. Michelle smiled. "We're going to establish a joint research station, three species working together to develop new technologies safely. And our second project will be resolving the territorial disputes that brought us here in the first place," General Seth Crodan added. using the solutions that Aylwin and Zara developed while enhanced. Elder Sylvanus looked at the equations still covering the walls. Their enhanced work provided a framework for sharing resources rather than fighting over them. It's brilliant, in its simplicity. What about the original asteroid mining rights? Lisa asked. Solved, Zara said with satisfaction. Rotating schedules based on orbital mechanics. Each species mines when conditions are optimal for their technology. Everyone gets more resources with less effort. Aylwin nodded. And we're establishing joint colonies on the 3 planets. Elven agricultural techniques, Saurian infrastructure, and human rapid development. The planets will be more productive than any single species could make them. Admiral Carter looked impressed. You've turned a territorial dispute into a cooperation opportunity. That's what enhanced thinking can accomplish, Aylwin said. Instead of fighting over limited resources, we found ways to increase the total resources available. Commander, Kate pulled up a holographic display showing the local star systems. The alliance model is already being requested for other territorial disputes. If this works, we could reduce military conflicts across the galaxy. Lisa realized that her small research station had become the center of a galactic transformation. The accidental enhancement of 2 alien diplomats had revealed possibilities that no one had considered before. There's one more thing, Dr. Michelle announced. We want to name the new research station after this location. What do you mean? Lisa asked. The Morgan Station Treaty will establish the framework for multi-species cooperation. Your name will be remembered as the place where everything changed. Lisa felt a mix of pride and nervousness. I'm honored, but I didn't do anything special. Amy made the mistake with the drinks. You all figured out the science, and the aliens did the enhanced thinking. Exactly, Elder Sylvanus said with a wise smile. You brought everyone together and let them work. Sometimes the best leadership is simply providing the right environment for others to succeed. Zara moved to the wall and touched one of the equations she had written while enhanced. In Saurian culture, we have a saying, the strongest metal is forged by accident in the hottest fire. This alliance was forged by accident, but it may be the strongest bond between species in galactic history. Admiral Carter looked around at everyone in the room. So we're really doing this? A 3-way alliance based on shared enhancement technology and cooperative problem-solving? Yes, all 3 aliens said simultaneously. Lisa laughed. Well, it's certainly not what I expected when I agreed to host a simple territorial dispute meeting. The best discoveries are always unexpected, Aylwin said. And the best alliances are built on mutual respect rather than mutual need. As the IG sun set through the station's windows, Lisa watched the 3 fleets begin coordinated maneuvers. Human, Elven, and Saurian ships moved together in complex patterns, practicing joint operations. The sight was beautiful and hopeful. One sip of human military formula had changed everything. What started as an embarrassing accident had become the foundation for a new era of galactic cooperation. And it all began because Dr. Amy Rodriguez had grabbed the wrong bottles from the kitchen. Sometimes the smallest mistakes lead to the biggest discoveries.